as the driver makes a very evasive quick maneuver over to the right side, almost sideswiping that vehicle there, cutting off that tanker semi. It almost looked like this driver did a maneuver that may have held that LAPD vehicle back for a bit. As this suspect now hits speeds of over 100 miles an hour in that HOV lane, and there's that law enforcement unit trying to catch up. Oh, and we've crashed. The driver lost control, crashed on the right side, and careened into the center divider. The hood is up, LAPD right behind the suspect, 2 vehicles, they have their guns out. The airbags have deployed inside this Kia. The airbags have deployed, and with that kind of impact on both sides of the vehicle, it's hard to say what kind of injuries would amount from that. We're going to move Air 7 around to see if we can get eyes on this driver. With these kind of newer vehicles and those side airbags on the driver's side and the passenger side, it's going to be hard for LAPD to get a visual on the suspect. But we do, through the windshield, we see some movement there. The driver's moving around. I'm curious to know if those LAPD units on the ground have eyes on the suspect or if they're being blocked by those side curtain airbags. Okay, I do have confirmation from an LAPD officer on the ground that they do see the suspect, but they do not see his hands. That's an obvious safety concern for these officers on the ground. I'm not sure what he hit on the right side, but we saw him just kind of pop out from under the trees completely out of control already and make a hard impact to that center divider. LAPD is going to perform a traffic break right now, and what that means is they're going to shut down all southbound traffic on the 405 until they get this thing situated. They just had an officer ask for shutting down traffic on the northbound side as well, as the LAPD air unit makes its way to the scene right now. They have their night sun now lighting up the suspect vehicle, as we still see the suspect moving around inside through that windshield. And now that driver's side door is opening. The driver will have to climb through those curtain airbags. His hands are up. Officers are making call-outs to this suspect driver. He doesn't appear like he's seriously injured or anything of that nature. He does appear to be able to stand under his own power, move his hands. Looks like he's talking back towards the officers right now, but we see him listening and following the officer's orders to slowly back up with his hands up. Officers are having him kneel down. You can see one officer with a less than lethal weapon aimed at the suspect as well. Officers had the suspect kneel down and lay down on the other side of the vehicle. Unfortunately for us in Air 7, Air 7 is going to move around to the driver's side of the vehicle, see if we can see what that driver's doing. As we see LAPD officers approach the vehicle first, they're going to make sure nobody else is in that vehicle and there's no other threats to the safety of others. They still have traffic moving on both sides of this freeway, even though officers asked for a closure of the north and south lanes. It looks like officers have, they're going to want to clear the trunk as well, and the officers that aren't clearing the vehicle are going to move into the suspect and put the handcuffs on and take this suspect into custody after a Pretty crazy pursuit, flying down the 405 at very high speeds, over 100 miles an hour, ending in a pretty spectacular crash hitting both sides of the freeway. I didn't see anybody else get collected in that accident, which is very good news for other commuters on this 405 southbound drive. LAPD now calling a code 4, which means that the scene is secure and all is safe. Now the investigation will begin as to what led up to this. This was reported as a stolen Kia, so LAPD is gonna find out who this was stolen from and how to make good on those damages. Obviously, this vehicle is severely damaged after this crash on the 405 southbound, just past, I believe, yeah, just past Sunset. You can see officers searching the suspect, making sure he doesn't have anything on him that they don't want him taken to jail. Otherwise, this will about wrap things up. We do see, just to give you a couple notes on the traffic situation, we do see the southbound lanes of the 405, that they're being held. Unsure for how long. That's probably going to be for a few minutes as LAPD figures out if that vehicle, the one that was involved in this pursuit, is going to be able to be moved. Some of the CHP vehicles have the capability to just push a vehicle that was involved in a crash off to the side of the freeway, and that's probably what they're going to want to do just to clear this entire situation. I'm not sure, Josh, if we can zoom into that other car right in front of the pursuit vehicle, if that vehicle was involved in any way, or if they're just stopping because they don't know what's going on. It doesn't look like there's any obvious damage to that vehicle, but like we said, the good news is, after a wild crash on a busy 405 southbound stretch, the suspect vehicle crashed but did not hurt any other innocent civilians. We're going to wrap up the coverage here in Air 7 HD for now. Gabe Santos, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.